So I don't know if any of you have your gardens or your yards overrun by bunnies, but we seem to have a lot of bunnies and a fair amount of squirrels and chipmunks. And so today I thought I would cover 3 books of backyard animals, predators who really keep our ecosystem in balance. And the first one is the Fox Diaries, and this is by Valarie Budayr, who also is the co-creator of Multicultural Children's Book Day. And this is actually the first book that she published that started her own publishing company called Audrey Press. And what I really love about her book is that literally she had this fox family in her backyard, or in her yard, in her garden, and it was this mama with babies, and she would just sit, like Jane Goodall, observing and taking photographs. And as she posted on her social media, everyone wanted to know, like, what's going on with the foxes? What's up with the foxes? And so this is just really, I don't know, kind of the joy of observing nature. These are the fox kits, the babies, and she named them all. And they each have distinct personalities. And as you read the book, it really goes over the life of how the mother fox really prepares her children to be independent on their own, to be able to dig a burrow and to hunt. And it's just a lovely story of photographs of just how this fox family just, sort of live side by side in suburban Tennessee, playing, learning, in her woodpile. And, it's nice to see that, humans and nature and animals can get along so well. The second book is a similar theme. It's by Maria Gianferrari and illustrated by Bagram Ibatoulline. I don't know if I said that right. And it's also about another backyard predator, a coyote. And what Maria really brings out, she uses really beautiful lyrical language, but what she really brings out is, how difficult it is for the coyote to survive with its, sort of its native habitat destroyed. It's forced to come into suburbia. And it's difficult. It's difficult to catch prey. And so here we have a coyote family with babies, and the mother needs to feed the babies. And so she's, in at night, going through the neighborhood, going after prey, after chipmunks and mice. And you see her, just really, here she is going after the bunnies. Honestly, we wish we had her in our yard to take care of our bunny problem. Until she is finally successful and, her babies are going to be able to eat. And this book, not only is the language really beautiful and the story, just, it's something that we can all relate to, even if we don't have coyotes in our area. But also these illustrations are so well matched for the story, and just really, they're really beautifully rendered, and they evoke exactly the right mood of drama and tension, and just, the difficulty of a night hunt. So we have coyotes by our old house because we used to live by a golf course, and when there were the coyote pups, the coyotes got quite territorial, and especially in the winter where you could walk there in the winter because no one's playing, a coyote encounter could be a little scary because the coyotes in our area went up north and breeded with the gray wolves, and they kind of migrated back, and so they are much larger than they used to be, and also not as afraid. But again, it's just same thing. The coyotes, their habitat has been destroyed, and they're just kind of struggling to survive and have adapted to suburban life, really. We live like 7 miles outside of Boston. And this last book is also by Maria Gianferrari, and this one is illustrated by Brian Floca, who you might know as the Caldecott winner for his train book, which I believe is called Locomotive, but I have to look that up. And this is, I think it's sort of like, I think it's meant to be like a multi-book, series. It's not, maybe like a sequel. It's not exactly, sort of billed as a sequel. But then this is another natural predator in our backyards about a hawk, and has a very similar arc as Coyote Moon, which is, it's also written with, almost like poetry, like really beautiful language. And Brian Floca, I mean, wow, like he's just such a great illustrator. And this one is sort of different in the sense that we have a young girl who kind of spends the day watching a hawk family. And so it's this sort of, she said like Mars, Moon, Rising. So it's, maybe Mars rises red in the sky. So I don't know if that's a particular, astrological event, but it's she has a binoculars, and she sort of spends the day observing this hawk family. It's a mother and father, and they have a nest of babies, and they too spend the day trying to provide for their young. And so it's like this girl and her brother, and they're watching the drama, and not only are the hawks in search of food, they also can be food for other birds as well. So here they are being attacked by crows, which they survive, and then they're trying to get sparrows for dinner, which that doesn't work out. And still this girl and her sister are watching and observing, and finally the hawks are successful, and the girls watch the hawks go off to feed their family. And so, yeah, if anyone has interest in bird watching or in, sort of noticing nature around them, these 3 books are a great way to relate the outdoors to books. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you read and enjoy these 3 books as well.